What's good people, and welcome to the Silly, Nerdy, Sometimes Wordy podcast. And I'm your host, BK, and this is episode 22, recap of Thursday Night Football, Week 4 matchup between the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers on this past Thursday night on Amazon Prime. And in this week's episode, we're going to be taking a look at the Lions-Packers game on Thursday Night Football and some nerdy notes featuring the New York Jets. What's up, everybody? I hope everybody is doing well. Hope the week has been good. And we're going to have some football talk. So now, let's get into the nerdy notes. And this week, it's just going to be really quick, focusing on the New York Jets for our nerdy notes. The Jets have been struggling. Unfortunately, they lost Aaron Rodgers after the fourth offensive snap. Zach Wilson has not been good. And the coach is standing behind Zach Wilson. However, they have made a quarterback move, not the one that's going to make any movement, but you never know. The Jets have signed Trevor Siemian to their practice squad. So that is something, and perhaps they get him on the active roster. We shall see. The Jets face the Kansas City Chiefs on Sunday Night Football, a tall task. We'll see how that goes. Also with the New York Jets, apparently Colin Kaepernick wrote a letter to the New York Jets. I want to say particularly to the GM, Joe Douglas, requesting to see if he could join the practice squad and maybe, get on the active roster. That's a thing. He showed a picture of the actual letter and everything on social media. He, meaning Colin. I don't think, obviously the Jets have not acted on this, but the fact that Colin did this is interesting. But that's that. So we'll see what happens this week with the Jets. Will Trevor Siemian get on the active roster? We will see. Now, let's get into our main topic, which is the Week 4, September 28th, Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime matchup between the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers, my Green Bay Packers. And this was not a good game for the Green Bay Packers. It was not good. The Lions are here. The Lions have a great roster. The roster has been built very well, very sound. And let's talk about the defense. The defense kept the pressure on the Packers, on Jordan Love all night long. The pressures, the hits, the sacks. They had a total of 5 sacks as a team. The Detroit Lions did 11 QB hits. They just kept on coming, whether it was a defensive line, the tackles, the linebackers, safeties coming down in the box. The corners held up well, and it just kept coming. The Packers could not solve anything in the first half. At one point, they had, I want to say, -1 offensive yards in the first half, and there was, they always show the replays, obviously, and the first interception that Jordan Love threw. I was, paying attention that, the linebackers two linebackers. They showed pressure coming in as if they were going to pressure, and then at the last second they backed out, which then, I don't know, I forget the linebacker who tipped it, but he tipped the pass, which then tipped it to his teammate, which then he then got the interception, which happened in the second quarter. At that time, it made the game, they scored off of that. It made the game, the score 24-3. And also mentioned on the broadcast, apparently, at least in the first half, the Detroit Lions did not blitz at all in the first half. It was all pressure, and that says a lot. Now, the Green Bay Packers were missing two offensive linemen, two starters. The left tackle, All-Pro David Bakhtiari, and the left guard, Elton Jenkins. He was missing as well as other key starters. The great cornerback, Jair Alexander, he was inactive. He did get Aaron Jones back, but he didn't do much. He was not effective. He didn't get a lot of run. 5 carries for 18 yards. A.J. Dillon, 5 carries for 11 yards. Only 27 yards of total rushing offense. That's not going to cut it. Like I said, the pressure of the defense of the Detroit Lions just kept coming and coming. They just couldn't solve it. The protection was not holding up. And then on the Packers side, the Lions just gashed them. The defense, the front seven, they gashed them for the run. Montgomery was just, he had himself a day. Gibbs got on the action too. David Montgomery, 32 carries, 121 yards, 3 touchdowns. 32 carries. That's not something you see. That's a high volume. That doesn't happen often these days as it used to, even in the last couple years. So, and the rookie Jamar Gibbs, 8 carries for 40 yards. I think he had a few catches. So not a lot there. Hoping to see more for fantasy purposes for myself, because I have him on a couple of teams. I actually started him in one league. But yeah, the Lions gashed them with the run. They just could not stop the run at all. Timely passing. And what else? So the second half, the Packers, they came out with a little bit of fire, a little bit of urgency. They went quick. They went, a little 2-minute. They had some tempo with them. That first possession, some urgency. They went down the field. They scored. They got a two-point conversion. So they were able to get the score. They were able to score, which was good. And the Packers defense started to show a little bit of life. But I would say ultimately it was too little too late. The Lions were able to score. And it didn't help that Quay Walker had a penalty on a field goal that the Lions had. Then obviously they declined that and gave the Lions a fresh set of downs. And they were able to score on that. So, yeah, the Lions ultimately, like I said, they won the game. The Lions go to 3-1. The Packers fall to 2-2. The Lions will face the Panthers in Week 5, and then the Packers will face the Raiders in Week 5. So the Lions have a very good roster. They definitely improved upon what they did last year. The 2 running backs help as well. Jared Goff has been solid, although he has thrown an interception in the last 3 games after his non-interception streak prior to 3 games ago, but still pretty solid. Their tight end that they drafted, Laporta, seems like they have something there. So yeah, that he's been pretty good so far. I'd like to hopefully see them use a little bit more of Jamar Gibbs. Also, with the Detroit Lions, they still have the wide receiver Jamison Williams. He's serving a 6-game suspension for gambling. They will get him back later this season, so the offense will improve. I think the Lions, it's very likely, it's a high chance. It hurts me to say this, but they have a chance to win the division this year. They definitely are a threat. I would say they're behind the San Francisco 49ers, the Philadelphia Eagles, but I will say they can definitely challenge those two teams. I think if the Lions stay healthy, they have a chance to get a home playoff game, and who knows what will happen if they make the tournament. So, yeah, the Lions are here to stay, and it's not going to be the same old Lions. And those Thanksgiving games will be a lot better moving forward. So, but all this is coming from a Packers fan. I'm going to be objective and call like it is. The Lions were the better team. The Packers, we'll see how it goes. Jordan Love, this was only his 5th start overall in his career, so he still got some work to do. He did get a rushing touchdown, and hopefully Aaron Jones can get a little bit more healthier. Hopefully we'll get some of our players back in terms of Alexander and the offensive lineman. Bakhtiari, I'm not sure about. He's been battling injury for the last few years. So we will see, but I think we will definitely be in it. So that division is pretty much Packers Lions, I would say. But who knows? Maybe the Vikings will go on a run. What else? So, yeah, Packers defense definitely needs to improve. Only 2 sacks as a team, 6 quarterback hits. Not going to get it done. Jordan Love was 23 of 36 for 246 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Not efficient there. The 2 turnovers really hurt, although one of them was tipped. Yeah, that's all for this episode. My takeaway is the Lions are here. The Lions are a threat. They've built their roster very good. They seem to have hit on all of their draft picks and their free agency acquisitions as well. And like I said, they still have speedster Jamison Williams coming back later this season to improve the offense even more. So we'll see how they go, and we'll see how round 2 of Packers Lions, when that matchup comes back again. This time it will be in Detroit. All right. Let's see. That's all the notes I have. Hope you enjoyed that. I'm not an X's and O's guy, but I do listen to a lot of X's and O's, and that's just my perspective, what I thought of the game. Please check me out on the Spotify and Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, iHeartRadio. Also, I am on the Wisdom app at JamesW24. Please check me out there. Very fun app so far. And that's all we have for today. I will be back with some more stuff. I'll be covering the WGA reaching their tentative agreement and some other stuff as well with the SAG and the strikes, and also some TV news. So I'll be coming out with some stuff about that and some other things. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Please come back again. And until next time, we will talk soon.